everybody, this is Stephen Howson and this is my Manchester United youth review. Thank you for joining us. Please hit subscribe if you're new over here. We were going to be doing this every week from now on. I apologise for not having done it for the last couple of months. Life gets in the way, but this is the most requested video and I am making a commitment now to bring it back every single week. So please hit subscribe and hopefully you enjoy what you see. Now the headline of this video is quite shocking and I'm going to get into that straight away. I'm not going to cover any results because this really needs addressing. It's quite a serious thing, I think, with Manchester United. Let's just get straight into it, right? There's a problem. You've seen the one-sided derby scores, the 12s, the 11s, the 13s, the 14s, the 15s. And despite having a couple of excellent matches with me, even the under-18s couldn't beat City this season. In the 23s, depleted by loans, lack of investment, a bit of a tumultuous time losing Warren Joyce and then having Nicky Butt come in. They managed to get a draw at the Etihad, but they couldn't do much with 10 men. At Leeds Sports Village. It's been a complete washout. City beating United at every single age group. And City are crowing about it. City are, as you'd expect. They've even got their under-13 champions on the side of the Etihad. That smacks of a lot of lack of class for me. There's a reason that the FA makes these games uncompetitive or so-called uncompetitive. They're classed as friendlies. Going around crowing about what your under-12s and your 13s and that have done. It doesn't sit right with me. But Manchester City are a propaganda machine, constantly feeding local rags like the MEN little bits of information. They know the Blues are going to read it and they know that United get clicks, so it's win-win for them. Everybody's going to read anything that they put out which elevates City and pulls down Manchester United. They lap it up. They're constantly going on about City poaching all of our best talent, and it's not true, but because no one comes out from United and goes, it's not fucking true. That's now the truth. That's out there and that's how it's happening. It isn't true. There's 2 or 3 lads that have gone over there, which United wouldn't have liked to have gone over there. They would have liked to have kept hold of them. But there's more coming the other way. Again, no one's talking about the ones that come up the other way because United don't talk to the press. People are coming the other way from City because City have got enormous squads. Compared to United, who have a relatively smaller squad, City have got these enormous squads with multiple satellite squads all around them. They're literally hoarding children to try and find a couple that make it. So they are able to produce better sides. And one of the reasons that United have lost out to City in all of these age groups, and it's been more competitive at 23 and 18 level, is because that City have been recruiting some technically gifted footballers, and there's some wonderfully technically gifted footballers, some excellent footballers over there. But they recruit a lot of large children, people that are 3-4 years senior their year in terms of physical development, and that helps. And that was one of the reasons why I very much fancied under-15 side, got completely and utterly destroyed by them, because they play a team of brutes. United don't recruit for brutes. United recruit for small, technically gifted players. I've been told actually United actually recruit maybe almost exclusively for players who are midfielders and then they can move them back or forward. But I have also heard other things on that one. Now, I consider both this show and what I do with Full Time Devils to be generally positive about Manchester United's academy on the whole. But despite having a really good relationship with literally dozens of the players who I know watch this, and the management, we're not allowed to do anything with them because the club just doesn't want to talk to anybody. They won't talk to fans, they won't talk to fanzines and fan channels, and they won't talk to the press about what's going on with the academy. And that's annoying. It's frustrating more than anything. United have got one of the best academies in England. Academies exist to produce players for the first team, and that is it. Literally, that is it. You put players into the first team, your academy is a success. If you're under 14s, go and beat them for the whole season, win everything. Does it matter? Doesn't matter a fucking jot. The thing that I always say is, Class of 92 won the FA Youth Cup, right? By the time you're 18, I think you should really be competitive. But let me ask you, where did the Class of 92 come in the league that year? They won the FA Cup, the FA Youth Cup. Why did they come in the league? Now, I know, because I did the research and I went and found out. They came second in the Lancashire A-League. But it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter. Did the lads who come first go on to have better careers than Beckham, Butt, Scholes and the Nevilles? They didn't. It's irrelevant. It's a development thing. And literally that is what the academies exist to do. Develop players for the first team. By the time they're 17, 18, 19, 20, they should be on the cusp of being ready. Now, no one matches Manchester United for doing that in England. And only Barcelona and Ajax can match us on a worldwide scale for bringing through players that go on and play at the top level in European football and internationally. That's a fact. You can go and look that up yourself. The figures are out there. United, Barcelona and Ajax. Those are the three. It changes on a year-to-year basis, but generally that's the top three of who produces footballers. Now, United have also produced footballers for Manchester United's first team for nearly 80 years, since 1937, October 1937. Unmatched. Not a single match day has gone past where Manchester United didn't have an academy product in the matchday squad. Now that is an unmatched achievement. And the basis of this, since the Busby Babes, through Sir Alex Ferguson, and right up until the last couple of years, Manchester United have recruited footballers. Those who are intelligent, can move the ball well, have got a good first touch, can play football. We haven't recruited these brute players. And maybe that's to our detriment at some point. And maybe the fact that we've maybe looked at midfielders more than players' specific positions, which I know that some other clubs do, has been why we've rarely ever brought through a centre-forward apart from Marcus Rashford. Maybe that's one of the reasons. Danny Welbeck was a winger when he come through. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we've struggled. We can bring through tons of defenders and midfielders, but we don't generally bring through attackers now. Maybe that's something that's going to change for the positive. But I don't like the abandonment of what I consider to be Manchester United's legacy. And I'll tell you why, and it ties in to the headline. Jesse Lingard was played down in age, and at 16, Sir Alex Ferguson told him that he wouldn't be ready for the first team until he was in his early 20s. Almost absolutely nailed on when he made his debut, actually. Jesse Lingard was not a brutish player. He's still not a brutish player. He relies on guile and speed and touch and a different sort of athleticism. He makes movement off the ball. He runs in behind. He offers totally different things. And some people say, oh, Jesse Lingard's not this, that and the other. He's not worth 100 grand a week. But do you know what? He's an academy success. He's come through the ranks. He's played for England. He's played multiple times for the first team. He scored goals in cup finals. That is a success for the academy that actually, maybe he isn't going to be a Ballon d'Or winning footballer. But there's no other academies that are really doing that on a regular basis aside from Manchester United, are there? So that is an academy success. You can't bring through a Ronaldo every season. It doesn't happen. It's unrealistic to think that. But you can bring through a Jesse Lingard. And that's awesome. Now, the extremely worrying quote, which I've used as the headline, has emerged from some of the new senior figures in charge at Manchester United. That's senior staff that we've recruited from Manchester City. Now, we've recruited them and they're obviously going to bring their modus operandi from Manchester City. These new gaffers are telling scouts to forego the tried and trusted method of focusing on talent alone and are telling them to look and scout for brutish, physical kids that can help get results. Just think about that for a second. 10 and 12-year-old and 13-year-old, they want to get results. I think what's happened is that someone's had a bollocking for the whitewashing of Manchester City beating us on every single level, and they've gone, fucking fix that. So they've gone, right, let's get some big fucking kids in that's going to help this team. And it's not about that, is it? It's about developing footballers for the fucking first team. It's not about having just monster kids in there, because that's not football. That's what everybody else does. All these other academies around the country concentrate on getting big athletic kids, and United do it fucking different, and Ajax do it different, and Barcelona do it different. And there's a reason that those clubs stand out atop of everybody else in producing footballers. Why are we going down the route of what everyone else does? If everyone else is doing it, it doesn't fucking work for them. Why are we trying to do what everyone else does? We're United. We should be doing it the Manchester United way, which is fucking excellent. Now, the scouts was also told, and this is a true quote and it's a direct quote, and it was also said with some pride, seemingly with some pride, and almost some cockiness to it, that Paul Scholes would not come through the Manchester United academy system today. If that's the case, the academy system is fucking broken. If Paul Scholes does not come through the Manchester United academy system today, then you have to look at the fucking academy system and say the academy system isn't right. Paul Scholes plays 18 times for Manchester United, scoring 155 goals. He won 11 league titles, and he was the finest midfielder of the generation. The finest fucking midfielder England has seen since Brian Robson. And if he's not good enough to come through the Manchester United Academy, then the Manchester United Academy is fundamentally broken. Not physical enough. Not fast enough. That's ridiculous. We have lost our way. Now, maybe appointing people from City was a bad idea all along. Maybe we should be looking to recruit people that are fundamentally Manchester United fans. That's not what's happened with the first team recruitment, actually. The first team has gone out and got the creme de la creme of scouts and talent ID across Europe and even the world. That's why you're constantly seeing it in the papers on an almost daily basis that United are scouting this guy, United are scouting that guy. We're building up an unparalleled database of first team footballers. That doesn't mean we're going to sign every single one, or even that we're looking to sign every single one. Some of it's just measuring. Some of it we're just finding out how good these players are so we can look at how good some of our players are. I found out a lot about the workings of Manchester United recently, and I found out that we send scouts to watch our own players as if they weren't scouts of the club, so they can give an assessment on them. So 2 or 3 scouts might have identified this player. He goes into the team, he plays in the team. They send a scout that's never seen him before. They go look at him and they say, what do you think of them? I think that's good. I think there's some good practices being done at Manchester United. But the fact that Paul Scholes... How can anyone who's in charge of Manchester United's academy stand there and say Paul Scholes wouldn't come through this academy? It's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. They've also said, with some derision, that they don't think Angel Gomez is good enough to be at Manchester United's academy. This is mental. Angel Gomez might be one of the most technically gifted footballers that I've ever seen. He's got 12 goals in 19 games for the under-18s this year as a 16-year-old. If he's not good enough, who the fuck is good enough? Now, I have asked some other people that I know inside the club to tell me what I've heard is not true, and they couldn't. They've said it's true. But in the way of balance, they've said that we're not exclusively recruiting for athletic kids. That we are looking for some sort of balance. We are recruiting athletically, but we're also recruiting for technical, as we've always done. But that quote stands out to me. No one at Manchester United should ever be saying, he won't come through now. They should be going, where do we fucking find another one of them? That's what we should be doing. Someone who give us 18 years of service. United's got a proud tradition of almost 80 years of having an academy player in every single matchday squad. No one else has got that. No one else has got that. You can't tell me that the way that we was recruiting for all of those years is wrong. There's people within the club that care. That's why they're telling me. There's people inside the club that don't want this to happen and are going to continue doing what they've always done. But that's a worrying thing, that I think. It's a worrying development inside the club. It doesn't really feel right to talk about what's going on with the rest of the academy since I did the review last. In a nutshell, the under-23s need to win one, I think, of the remaining 2 games to stay up, which is, again, ludicrous management. The fact that we won the league last year and now we're talking about being relegated this year. You know, someone needs to be held accountable for that. And I think it's purely down to the personnel. It's not a management issue, and it's not that the players aren't good enough. It's just that they don't have the players in the right positions. We're playing 7 and 8 defenders in some matches. It's not fair. The under-18s obviously were out of the cup, so they're just bombing along in the league. There's been the Dallas Cup, there's been the Cup in Mallorca where the under-16s have gone and put on a real good show. They've attracted the attention of some of the Spanish press out there, getting real good write-ups. I think I'll probably cover that next week to give me something to kick off straight away with. But there you go. The fact that Paul Scholes wouldn't be considered good enough for Manchester United's academy right now, it just feels... It feels anti everything that Manchester United stands for, doesn't it? It doesn't feel right in the slightest. I'll leave it there for this week. Get any of your questions, comments, or anything like that you've got, especially about the academy, in the comments below or over on Reddit. And I'll see you next week. Cheers.